Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more BattleTech. Well, we have made it to Tarragona, so we're going to go ahead and collect the next flashpoint that is available. It is the flashpoint campaign, so let us waste no time and, well, we're going to see what's going on here. So, the engagement length of this is a medium, consecutive deployments apparently not. There are some rare items and heavy tonnage requirements necessary. Okay, so the Draconis Combine. Commander, I have an important task for you. A rescue operation at the utmost edge of the RimWorld frontier. Meet me at Tarragona and I'll fill you in on the details. Well, let's see what's going on. Well, Commander Mikhailov, here we are, standing astride the ragged edge of civilization where the star maps meet their end. Thank you for joining me in this cheerless place. Most reputable mercenary companies won't venture this far outside the inner sphere. Well, that's what gives us our edge, Bob. Throw enough money at us and we'll go wherever you want. A sentiment worth drinking to, but alas, my reserves have run dry and I cannot replenish them here. The swill that they peddle on Tarragona is an insult to the very concept of wine. All of this brings me to the reason why I called you here. I have a job for you, and I need it done quickly. My situation is rather desperate. You understand? Okay, well, we get it. Tell us who we're here to rescue, and from whom. Captain Gaku Magorian of Tsubaki Salvage Works. He's fallen into the clutches of a frontier crime syndicate, and I need you to get him back. And you've come all this way out here in person to coordinate his rescue? This captain of yours must be quite a guy. Oh no, Miss Meyer, by all accounts he's horrid, a rancid turnip that walks as a man. But this particular turnip found something of great value on one of his forays in the deep periphery, and House Kurita wants it. Alright, what kind of something are we talking about? A ship. I don't know what kind. The ISF dossier that I received refers to it only as a derelict spacecraft of unknown origin. The vagueness of the language is intentional, of course. The Kuritan intelligence community is quite adept at gathering information, but almost farcically bad at sharing it. We know the type. I assume that your government sent you to recover this mysterious spacecraft. Well, you overestimate my position, Doctor. My superiors don't want me anywhere near the precious derelict. That probably stings, huh? On the contrary, the less involvement my superiors require of me, the better. I don't belong out here, Commander. I feel the need to spiritually cleanse myself of this place. And so, the moment my assignment is complete, I will travel to Herodotus, where I will submerge myself in an ocean of vice. All I need is Captain Magorian, and that is where you come in. Understood. We'll get your man. Now, have you got a name for this syndicate we're going up against? Doesn't matter. They're petty criminals. If they hadn't kidnapped a person of importance, the Combine wouldn't even be worth discussing. You don't know, do you? No. I'm sure it was mentioned in one of the interminable briefings I was subjected to back when I was saddled with this assignment, but that was 2 months and several bottles of Cholobora ago. Don't look at me like that. I had to drink it quickly. It doesn't keep you, see? Yeah, I get it. Do you have any intel on our Op4 at all? Numbers, tactics, armament? Oh, you don't need any of that. This should just be a simple job for mercenaries of your caliber. Just march on in with your battlemechs, shoot them until they stop moving, and get Captain Morgorian back. What could be easier than that? Nothing, I guess. We'll get right on it. Music to my ears, Miss Meyer. In fact, contact me again when you have Captain Magorian in hand. Yamaguchi out. Alright, well, you know, I've always had a suspicion that that every one of our Great House liaisons is wildly incompetent on some level or another. It's refreshing talking to one who just wears it right on the surface. Well, that's our Bob. I guess we're going into this one blind, huh, XO? Should make for an exciting day on the job. Well, that's one way of putting it. Might as well get our MechWarriors ready to drop, Lionel. The sooner we get down there, the sooner we can see what we're dealing with. Okay, so let's go. It's 2 skull, capture base, good salvage, max pay, not terrible. Let's go ahead and negotiate this. You know what? Normally I would be inclined towards the money. What are we dealing with though? It is 2 skulls. We could get a couple of 50-ton mechs. They normally sell for something fairly close to maybe a little bit more than what we have on offer here. I think we're going to focus in on the salvage. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Now this does hurt our reputation with the pirates, but again, that is fine. We can get that back nice and simply. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and focus on salvage. Simply because who can say no to 2 full mechs if we can manage such things. Alright, so we're probably going to drop our Annihilator for this one. Not quite our tempo. We'll bring the Archer, we'll bring our Marauder. The Zeus, we probably don't necessarily need, but what are we going to replace them with? That is the question. I'm thinking maybe a Black Knight could be handy. Yeah, we have a good choice of weapons. Could make the most of some precision shooting if we want. Let's go ahead and bring that along, and then what else could we bring? Got a Centurion, we've got a Crab, maybe a Shadowhawk, although, hang on a second, what else have we got? The Hatchet Man, that's just going to pull things apart. The Griffin could be okay, 2 ER medium lasers, a few SRM6s. You know what, maybe we double up with the Marauders. Maybe that's what we do. Yeah, we're going for a lot of salvage here. Let's go ahead and make the most out of that. Let's go ahead and throw that on... No, we'll put you over there. Let's bring you with Cosmo. That way, yeah, Cosmo and Headhunter can go as a nice duo in the Marauders. They've both got that initiative boost, which is very nice. That should be good for our cold shot bonuses with high spirits. Yeah, I think we run that, and then let's just double check the Archer. Do we want the breaching shot on that, or would we rather the cooling? I'm thinking we might actually go for the cooling. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on in and see what we're in for. Alright, so the objective for this one is to capture the unidentified syndicate base. A man to ISF intelligence, Captain Geiku in MechWarrior is being held prisoner on in one of a dozen safe houses within the boundaries of Alameda province. Obviously we can't rely on trial and error to find him, so we're going to have to narrow down the list. Our unidentified syndicate is known to maintain forward bases in this AO. Capture it so Dr. Maraud can scour for the Op4's mainframe and for confirmation of Captain MechWarrion's whereabouts. Alright, well, can't believe that we don't even know who we're fighting against. It is what it is. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can gain the intel we need. Okay, Commander, our unidentified crime syndicate's forward base should lie somewhere up ahead. Stick your neck out far enough and you're bound to find it. Yeah, and who knows what else. Probably don't have to remind you of this, boss, but Shugo Yamaguchi couldn't tell us who these criminals are or what kind of firepower they're packing. Could just be vehicles and turrets, but I'll bet dollars to donuts they're stomping around in battle mechs. And they were able to hijack a derelict spacecraft en route to its location. So given that, they've got resources. Go into the situation with your eyes open, Lionel, keep your finger on the trigger, and tell your Lance to do the same. Okay, well, what are we looking at? We're looking at a base all the way down there. What do we see? There might be a path up and around here. Could also maybe... Ooh... I guess we could make our way down over there too. I'm not sure if that's going to give us the advantage. Let's try for this gap here, and then we're going to scoot down the less impeded terrain, and we're going to try to take the high ground. I think that's how we're going to do this. Alright, let's move everybody up.
Rolling.
and see what we can find. Oh, and it does look like that is a bit of a dead end.
Orders.
That is unfortunate. Alright then, well, we may as well move the Marauder up.
Location confirmed.
Oh, and we have
Incoming
contact.
bandit.
Hello, what have we got? 30-ton mech? Alright, well, you're definitely not going to get salvaged, but that's okay. Let's put the Marauder
Copy
second
that.
in a line. We'll bring the Black Knight.
On the move.
Alright.
Onward.
I do wonder whether if we had smaller mechs, if we would be able to squeeze through that gap or not. We would be curious to know if that is a thing.
How's it going?
I doubt it is, but you never know. Alright, so, I think these guys are just... Yeah, they're just going to be picking up position. I don't think they're going to be doing anything that fancy. Yep, alright.
Waiting for orders.
We'll reserve as far as we can. We're not going to get eyes on any targets, so let's just go ahead and sprint. We'll take... Oh, actually, you know what?
What do you need?
Looks like Rannick's in a better position, so we'll move him as far forward as possible first. Go ahead and shuffle up there.
No shooting. Just...
Oh, got eyes on the base, Commander. Take it, and we'll get this show on the road.
I'm still reading enemy contacts, Commander. You need to secure the area before you can proceed.
Alright, so a 50 and 55 ton mech, both of those should be good for salvage. The Javelin I'm not so bothered by, but again, we do need to find ourselves in position to take shots on the next round. We'll go ahead and we'll move you there.
Yes, Commander.
As for Big Man, yeah, let's just move as far as we can.
Copy that.
And then you know what? We do
I'm your spaniel.
have our archer, so we can start to open fire. It's not a huge amount of
Moving to
accuracy,
position.
but I suppose... You know what? 65% is not the worst, and this thing is in shoddy condition, so half armor. You never know, we've got a lot of LRMs. Let's see what we can do.
Confirmed. Take that.
Okay, so...
Let's do this.
I guess he's going to move first. If I were him, yeah, I'd probably be bailing as well. Well, no, line of sight means that they're not going to be able to do much. Let's go ahead and reserve. We'll see if anybody comes on up, and if they do, they'll have terrible, terrible accuracy.
Holding for the right opportunity.
Alright, so what do we do here? I'm thinking... Well, we might be able to sprint and get eyes on. That's not the worst. Could also maybe move down. In fact, you know what? Oh, there we go. Rannick can shuffle on up into cover. That'll do well. They have a Griffin. Well, that's not going to be there for very long, so let's go ahead and take that precision strike and see what kind of damage we can cause. Well, lethal damage. That will work.
Neutralized.
Alright, so that's some of the defenses, 25%, so I'm guessing it's just this lance.
Standing by.
Though whether they gain reinforcements or not, I do not know. Actually, this is going to be very helpful for us. We could potentially see what's there, but I think we're going to sprint. We're going to be able to see what's going on with that javelin that we fired at, so we'll have targeting solutions. Ooh, and on the Enforcer. Very good. Alright, so that means we can... use Archangel to a good degree here. I don't think shooting over there's really worth it. I think we'd try and take position. Yeah, let's move up into some cover.
Let's move.
We'll let that be, and then...
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, let's bring Archangel up. We'll go... 55%. How badly is this guy? Oh, you know what? We're actually going to be able to hit that very, very heavily. I do not think they're going to appreciate this, so that should be an easy kill. Let's go ahead, and then, if that's the case, we'll go ahead and stay in... Well, we'll try and stay near the main path of travel. We'll still fire everything just to make sure that we get the kill, but this will at least mean that we can move well on the next turn.
Target confirmed. Do the math, Chief. One less target.
Alright, what do we see? Okay, a second javelin. Alright, nothing too scary there. Not that I was really concerned with a full heavy lance,
Commander.
but you never know, it could be handy. Alright, so let's go ahead and start moving on up. We'll go ahead and take a precision strike. We have the resolve, so we may as well make the most of it. Let's see if we can take out the enforcer. Again, all that we need is, what's that? 38 points? Considering that they've got, what, 20, 40%? Yeah, okay, we're going to need at least 2 hits on the head, but still, that's quite doable.
Got it.
Alright.
Target neutralized.
Looks like those UAC 5s paid off quite nicely. Both shots that we needed. Alright, let's go ahead and shuffle on up. And you know...
On my way.
Oh, just because we can and we're taking home so much salvage, let's aim for the head. We'll go ahead and drop off the UAC 20. Yeah, it should only take... Oh, wait a second. This one's, what, 33? Okay, as long as one of our first 2 medium lasers hits, we'll have salvaged the whole thing.
Firing.
Otherwise, we might need 2 shots. But that'll do it. Alright, fantastic.
That one's gone.
Alright, so that's that.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
Ooh, okay, so reinforcements. This is ideal. Alright, so miscellaneous fire, not doing too much there. Unfortunately, we didn't have the turn to move up the arch, which I probably should have done. But it is what it is. Then what have we got? 45 and a 50 back there.
Receiving you.
Right, what to do? I guess technically we could move up and open fire again. I think that should be well within range of our medium lasers. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure, so we're going to reserve. We'll just bring them a little bit closer. Alright, a soft peppering from an autocannon and a few LRMs. And it looks like a stray shot hit our Black Knight, but that's a-okay. We're still in some pretty decent cover, so I'm not that concerned. And it's a Blackjack. Okay.
Let's do this.
Well then, let's see. Let's make the most of what we have available. We know we can get those medium lasers online for the Blackjack at a minimum. We'll go ahead and...
Good to go.
Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe we go... No, we're not going to have position, are we? Alright, you know what? If we can move all the way to
Commander?
there... Hang on a second.
Good to go.
We can move up further.
Yep.
Alright, let's just go ahead and sprint the Marauder up here so we can get eyes on. There we go. And now that we know what we're dealing with and at
Yes,
what
boss.
ranges, we can make some informed decisions. Does look like we can take out that Centurion, and so I think that that is our play here. Let's move up.
Acknowledged.
Let's take that precision strike, and again, let's salvage if we
On it.
can. Very solid.
Mech destroyed.
And now, what
Receiving you.
have we got? We've got our Black Knight
I
and
live to
our
serve.
Archer.
Ready for orders.
You know what? I think we can... Oh, wait, we're not going to be able to take as many shots as I'd prefer. You know what? We'll just move
my
up a
way.
little bit. We'll split our fire just to make them slightly more targetable. Yeah, there we go.
I copy.
And then, let's see, our...
Waiting for orders.
Oh, we've got some solid resolve still. Right, of course. Let's maybe destroy that first javelin. That'll do. In fact, actually no. Let's go for the one with a little bit of protection, but it's already stripped a lot of its armor off. We'll go for a precision strike, and we'll just aim to core that thing. I'm not really looking to salvage this one.
Engaging target.
Very nice.
Mech destroyed.
And one less mech for us to have to deal with on the next round. Always the better. Because it's always when they've got 1 or 2 mechs left over that I find that they're rolling those lucky headshots and putting our pilots out of action,
Standing by.
which I really do not care for. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on up.
Got it.
We're going to go ahead and see if we can obliterate the the blackjack here. Well, it still stands, but its initiative has
Inflicted some
dropped.
heavy damage.
That is fine, because that means we can then follow up with Rannoch.
On my way.
And this should work out rather nicely. In fact, let's get the UAC 20 just to maximize our chances. Why not?
Here it comes.
Whoops. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe that was a little overzealous. He definitely was dying on that one. Probably didn't need those extra points of damage.
Waiting for orders.
But oh well, it is what it is. It's done now. Let's go ahead and move on up and let's see what we can do. Oh, I can't quite bring those machine guns online. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and target the poor little fellow and see what we can do.
Locked on.
Alright, we got a head hit, but it looks like that cover
Warning,
has saved
critical
its
hit.
life just ever so slightly. It has... oh, 23 points. Okay,
Standing by.
a little bit more than I was expecting, but that's alright. Let's go...
I'm walking here.
and we'll follow up with the archer.
Acknowledge. Oh, I like that shot.
Alright, and surprisingly, it lives. Oh well, we took out the leg. That's all good for us.
It's on.
Looks like it is going to stand back up again, but again, as we know, that penalty is terrible, so very unlikely that much happens this turn round. Oh, it did manage to hit with one weapon. Not that that'll do much. Alright, how you doing, little guy? Pretty well intact, though, all
Commander.
things considered.
Standing by.
You know, let's see if we can maybe give...
Moving for tactical advantage.
let's see if we can give Big Man the kill here. Let's move on up. We're going to see if we can take the shot. There we go. A full Alpha Strike.
Heading out.
Let's aim for the cockpit and see if we can kill the meat and save the metal. Alright, weapon inbound, Commander. I'll be touching down directly. Okay, well that mech's certainly not moving anywhere. Now what we need to do is go ahead and capture the base, which I'm fairly certain will not take us too much to do.
Affirmative.
And we'll get you towards the leopard
On the
for
way.
pickup. Alright, well, that is that.
Coordinates received.
I guess we'll support our team.
Aye, aye.
And I guess
Daniel.
Archangel's already ready to go home. Alright, we've got new hostile contacts on the field, Commander. They're heading your way. Ooh, maybe not. Incoming transmission. Hey, Mercs, I don't know who you are, but I'd get the hell out of here if I were in your shoes. You don't know who you're messing with. You're right, we don't. Want to be a good sport and clue us in? This whole operation is being overseen by the Bauman Group. Me and my associates, we're just pirates, little fish in a big pond. But if you take it from me, if you cross Dr. Bauman, you are done. I appreciate the warning, but we'll take our chances. Secure the base, Commander. Take down anyone that stands in your way. Alright, well that's it, Commander. The base is ours, and I'm bringing Farah around to get a look at their mainframe. Nice job, kids. Never seen a company dig its own grave as enthusiastically as you just did. You're all dead now. By the way, when Dr. Bauman gets wind of what you've done... Yeah, we get it. Just give me a second to block your transmission, and done. There. That's better. Blessed silence. Well, for my part, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this Bauman's computer systems. Anyone feeling like placing bets on what we'll find in there? Just focus on recovering Captain Megorian's coordinates. Dr. Shugo Yamaguchi isn't paying us by the hour. You're no fun, Exo, but yes, of course, I'll get right on it. Roared out.
Mission successful.
Okay, well, we did rather well there. Now we get to pick up some of that salvage, and there is a good chunk of it. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Potentially, there could have been a little bit more in it if we had have gone for money, but I think we'll be okay with what we're bringing home. Everybody got a kill, no one really got injured. That is what we would expect for such a mission. We were definitely a little bit, what would we say, overpowered. So what have we got? A couple of 50-ton mechs. Oh wait, the 55. Let's take that Griffin. And then, well, you know what? Anything else, we're still going to get, what, 27 in total. Yeah, there's a good chance we could get some extra mech stuff, although good grief, are we likely to get some jump jets? That's a good chunk. Alright, so we got 2/3 of a Centurion, we got 2/3 of a Javelin 10F, part of a Javelin 10N, and then a couple of weapons, heat sinks. Oh, and would you believe it? Jump jets. Yep. Lots and lots of jump jets. But either way, we can always sell those off. We still are happy with the amount of tonnage that we have received. And it'll make, well, it'll be easy enough to sell off whenever we desire. Okay, so I think, does Young have to have a look at our mechs first, or do we just jump on into our debriefing? I'm not entirely sure. Alright, well either way, we will see when that is.
That mech you wanted?
Okay, so it was
online.
indeed a, okay.
That mech is ready to fight.
Get to put those into storage. And now we have our debriefing. According to Dr. Murad's interpretation of the files we recovered, Captain Megorian is being held in a safe house somewhere under the ruins of New Volucci. Care to fill us in on the details, Dr. Murad? Absolutely. According to the intel I've uncovered, Captain Megorian is currently in the custody of Zeta Lance. From what I gather, they're basically the Bauman Group Fix-It crew. All highly disciplined, all former Great House military. When Dr. Bauman needs a job done, right, they are the ones he turns to. Alright, they're competent. Got it. What else? Well, Zeta Lance has been moving Captain Megorian from location to location every couple of days. I don't have a fix on his current position, but I was able to find Zeta Lance's expected patrol route. If you were to destroy their mechs and get me access to their combat computers, I could retrace their steps to find Captain Megorian. That's the plan then. We deploy, hunt down Zeta Lance, then follow their trail to Captain Megorian. Good work, Doctor. Sounds like we have a plan. Anything else to add? I do. In my time off, I've been doing some digging on Dr. Bauman and his organization. Turns out, they basically run the black market. Half the contraband that flows through the Frontier's seedier ports of call all got there by way of the Bauman Group. And I mean, I assume you're going somewhere with this. You know those strange new weapons that have been flooding the market recently? Give you 3 guesses where they came from. You think they came from a derelict? I guess that tracks, but how? If the ship is stuffed to the gills with high-tech weaponry, who the hell put it there in the first place? I couldn't hazard a guess, Samaya, but if Darius is right, this isn't a simple rescue operation. That ship is important. Those weapons have to be lost tech, but some of them, like the coil beam, are totally absent from Starleague's historical records, at least as far as I understand. We have to pursue this, Darius. I need to know more. I wouldn't say no to finding out more myself, Doctor. Hell, there's probably money in it, but we aren't hired to rescue were hired to rescue Captain Megorian, and that needs to remain our focus. That said, if we should happen to stumble onto some of those answers you're looking for, we will absolutely pursue them. Well, can't argue with any of that. Now, let's do our job. Zeta Lance won't wait around all day. As right as always, Lionel, let's get our people ready to drop. Okay, so it seems like we have a chance to repair our mechs, if anything. We can go ahead and jump on in. We've got some more salvage and some more money. Let's see. Do we want to go ahead for the salvage again? The money is very nice. Actually, no, let's go ahead and quickly double check in the store. How much money would we have made from those battle mechs? So, let's see. There was a... hang on a second. There was an enforcer. So that's a good 430,000. That's not too bad. And then... it wasn't a Griffin. Wait, maybe it was the Griffin. So that's another $500,000. Yeah, another 530. Maybe that was everything that we collected. Yeah, and that's not including the other bits and pieces, which could end up paying us a little bit better as well. Let's see, like another like 300,000 kind of thing for a couple of 40-tonners. Yeah, does that pay off more than the other? Well, it rounds out to be roughly about 1 million C-bills. Not including the weapons and ammunition that we have collected. But if there's extra bonuses, we could potentially earn a little bit more from the cash. You know what? Let's run with the cash. We'll go money on this one. It's a battle in lowlands, and hopefully they'll have reinforcements or something, and we can boost up this number by a substantial margin. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to play it. And unless... could take a mech and some salvage, but no. I think we're going to go in for the money. Let's go ahead and accept that. As for things, what do we want? Do we still want to bring our Marauder if that's the case? Our Black Knight, our Archer works pretty well. It doesn't do a bad job. Maybe we could go... Could bring a Griffin and just go ahead and pick up some extra range findings, some brawling as well. It's not the worst. Yeah, look, you know what? Maybe that wouldn't be a bad plan. Let's drop the Marauder. We'll still keep one. We'll go ahead and we'll shuffle all of our other mechs up a little. And then let's put that Griffin to good use. In fact, I'm thinking Archangel might be better off in the Griffin. And then... who do we bring? Cheese Goblin? Just for the... Actually, maybe Cheese Goblin's better off in the Griffin. Yeah, probably. Cheese Goblin always does a very good job in those fast and agile mechs. Or at least the more up and running brawling mechs. So we'll go ahead and we'll put him there as we jump into the next chapter. Okay, so chapter 2. We must go ahead and destroy Zeta Lance. Zeta Lance moved Captain MechWarrior out of Alameda province 2 days ago. They're holding him in a bunker somewhere under the ruins of New Volucci, a city that fell victim to a nuclear accident in 2977. Engage Zeta Lance and destroy their mechs. When you've finished, I'll scour their combat computers for their bunker's coordinates. Alright, let's hope this is the last hoop that we need to jump through before finding this guy. It sounds like a good idea to me too. Let's make this work quick. Alright, Zeta Lance should be here somewhere ahead of you, Commander. They're, that's strange. What is it, Maya? My sensors picked up a weird signal coming from an object in geosynchronous orbit. Sort of a blip. It was there, but then... Hold up. I've got eyes on our targets. Zeta Lance is on the move and it's heading this way. Incoming transmission. Leviathan's Might, you're here. Big mistake. Mr. Bauman wants you dead, and we intend to deliver. What a coincidence. We're here for your heads too. May as well get to it, Commander. Give them hell. When you're done, we'll recover their combat computers for Dr. Maraud. Alright, so it looks like this is a straight up fight, nice and easy. Looks like there's the remnants of the old city. Yeah, not entirely sure which direction the blast came from because, well, it was definitely on this left-hand side a bit, but it's not exactly uniform damage, so who knows? Who knows where it was directed from? But either way, we're not going to worry about history. We're going to go ahead and move on up. Let's get our Marauder into position.
Got a sensor trace.
Yeah, Marauder has a 35-ton vehicle, 60 and a 55-ton mech on sensors. Alright, the Black Knight, let's go. No, let's get you to the road as well.
Move order received.
The Archer will go ahead and park in cover. And our Griffin, oh, we can even get eyes on. You know what? That's rather nice. We'll even split off just that slight bit to avoid stray shots. Alright, we've got incoming drop pods, Commander. Who launched them? Does the Bowman group have a dropship in orbit? Negative, XO. Judging by their trajectory, they were launched from an orbiting platform that our sensors marked as space junk. According to my readings, it's completely unmanned and at least 300 years old. Wow, that would make it a relic of the Star League. Samaya, I need you to send me those readings right away. On it. And I'm marking the drop pod's projected impact site on your screen, Commander. Watch your head. Okay, well, what are we dealing with? We have a Javelin, a Striker Narc, an LRM carrier, a Shadow Hawk. All making good use of things. Alright, well, you know what? I think it's going to be easiest if we just go ahead and reserve.
Roger that.
We'll let that
Standing
Shadow
by.
Hawk... Ooh, took a stray shot to the Blackjack. Okay, you know what? Maybe we don't let them go much further. Let's see if we can maybe...
Good to go.
Yeah, we could destroy that LRM carrier back there. We could destroy the Striker Narc. I think that's good. Let's see about taking down this Shadow Hawk, though. Let's move up.
Copy that.
And we'll bring our guns to bear. Let's use that Precision Strike. Only costing us 20 thanks to our high spirits, which is very good. Let's see what kind of damage we can cause.
Target locked in.
Alright, and it looks like we rolled
Hostile
well.
eliminated.
Hostile removed. Alright, Striker Narc. A few LRMs, but I don't think any Narc beacon was within range. So that is handy.
Commander.
Let's bring... You know what? Let's maybe bring up the Black Knight. We've got large lasers we can send against the LRM carrier, the Javelin. Oh, we can only pick 2.
Orders.
Alright, what about you there, Cheese Goblin? You can move on up. You've got ER medium lasers, which could hit... Oh, you can hit the Striker Narc. Hang on a second. Let's use those jump jets and see how close we can get. There we go. We can take out that LRM carrier rather nicely. I think that will do well. So let's jump on forwards.
Here we go.
We'll go multi-target because there's no need for the Narc beacon afterwards. Let's send that onto the Javelin. And then, let's see, all of those SRMs should be more than enough for that LRM carrier. These things are a bit of a paper tiger. Yeah, or a glass cannon, that's what I was looking for. So we can destroy that, and then we'll put some damage over there as well. Alright, open fire.
Target confirmed.
Alright, there goes that issue. Got the Narc attached to the Javelin very well, and well, that should make very easy shooting for
Receiving you.
Archangel. Hang on a second. Okay, cool. The Striker Narc didn't get destroyed. Okay. I was just checking whether we should have moved up Big Man before we move up and kill. Alright, so looks like they're going to take an extra 75% damage from our missiles. That's going to be more than enough, regardless of how much damage reduction they have.
Target acquired. Oh, I like that shot.
Alright, so that is a fairly devastating salvo. Took out an arm, a leg, and a torso, and barely kept that thing functioning.
What's up, boss?
Alright, well, let's go ahead and move on up, and...
On the move.
You know what? I'm very glad we did not come here for salvage. Let's go ahead and destroy... Oh, wait a second. Maybe we can just roll the dice. Yeah, you know what? We can roll the dice. We'll send one shot to the Narc, one shot to the other. We'll see what we can come up with. Yeah, that'll work. Actually, you know what? No, we want to do that the other way around.
Multiple enemies locked in.
There we go. Any one of those large lasers would have been enough to destroy. And there we go. Right on the center of mass.
Enemy down.
Alright, we've got drones on the field. Boss, Star League era. From the looks of them, you called it, Doc. But this is incredible. They must have been sitting dormant on that platform for centuries. See how they look new? They do look new, and that's a bad thing. I give them 20 seconds before they tear right into us. Alright, well, we'll deal with them if and when that happens. Commander, Zedolance is still your primary target. If the drones take fire on you, take them out. Otherwise, you need to bring down those mechs. Alright, well, we must go ahead and destroy some hostile drones. That'll be fine. Let's go.
Yes, Commander.
Let's get that archer moving on up. Yeah, we're going to want to take this road up here, I'm thinking. We do have some marsh for some extra stability, but I think we'll be fine.
Onward.
A marauder will go ahead and try and move up there. A black knight. Oh, we have contact. Yeah, we'll take over here, and then our jump jets can get us a fair way up, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump. Yeah, we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and jump. We can brace.
MechWarriors, show them what you've got.
Yeah, we'll take some damage reduction theoretically. We've got 2 of them. Do we want to go ahead and let them have a turn?
Standing by.
Well, you're not going to be able to do too much from back where you are.
What's the plan?
And I don't think... I guess technically we can get some cover. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and jump up the Griffin. We'll keep the evasion. We'll pick up some cover. And what have we got? An SLDF medium drone. Ooh, 2 medium pulses. SRM-4 and LRM-10. Same on both. And they're decently armored, all things considered. But I think we can probably breach all of this. What have we got? We have, what, 72? Yeah, a good 72 damage from each SRM of the first 2 SRM-6s. You know what? That actually might just be enough. Let's go ahead and we're going to spread this out. A and B. We'll send one of either, and then, I don't know, we'll keep you on A and we'll put you on B. You never know. It should theoretically be just enough to get through at least one of them, if not both of them. And we've spread out our SRMs. Okay, well, not quite as good as I would have hoped.
How's it going?
I feel like we should have had more weapons firing off. Let's see. Did we fire our lasers? I don't think we did. I think that we just fired off 2 SRMs. Alright, well either way, there's not much I can do about that now. The game doesn't really let me change that much.
On it.
Let's bring the Marauder up just to give them an extra target. Make sure that our Griffin doesn't take too much fire unnecessarily. Looks like we'll be okay.
Ready for orders.
Let's get the Archer moving, and I think we'll go... Oh, you know what?
Moving to position.
Let's just fully salvo this thing and make sure that it dies. It does look like we would have had enough damage, but it looks like we spread it out a little bit. That is unfortunate. Something similar over here too. Alright, well you know what? Maybe we go ahead and we multi-target. We'll send the 15 and the 5 to one and the 20 to the other.
Multiple enemies locked in.
There we go. The Archer is a good missile boat. Nice tight clustering means we should only hit the one area consistently. I'm happy with that.
This is what happens.
Alright, well that's it, Commander. I'll scoop up Zeta Lance's combat computers. When Farrell locates Captain MechWarrion's bunker, we'll be off to the races. I'll do what you need, but for the time being we have more pressing concerns. No we don't. This is the job, Doctor. Yes, Darius, I know, but the platform that launched those drones was SLDF. It's been sitting dormant for 3 centuries and it came back online now, while we're fighting over a ship from the great beyond. Funny timing, don't you think? You think this is something to do with the derelict? You think it doesn't? Okay, well, maybe now's the time to talk about those drones. Let's return to orbit. We need to loop Shugo Yamaguchi in on what's happening here. I've tried, but he's indisposed. You better get back up here anyway, though. I've got something you need to see.
Mission successful.
Alright, well, I guess that's what we're going to do. Glad we went for the money, although, you know, some extra, what do you call them, medium pulses and whatnot wouldn't have been bad. Though it is what it is. Million C-bills, we will take it. No damage really done. Everybody got a kill. Congratulations to everybody. Nicely done. We got part of a Shadowhawk, an LRM-20 and an LRM-5. That's actually pretty good considering. And there was no pulse lasers available, so I'm not very sad at all. I am very pleased with the choices that we made. Alright, so I guess now what we need to do is quickly debrief and figure out exactly what's going on with those drones. They could be, well, that could be slightly dangerous or very, very helpful if we can get our hands on some of that tech. So I guess we're going to have to see. Alright, so here we go. Of Unknown Origin Chapter 3, High Orbit of Tarragona. Okay, Maya, what's the emergency? Remember that orbital platform, the one that launched all those drones? It's trying to talk to us. The damned thing has pinged our comms system 5 times since you left the planet's surface. I'll pause for a second to let that sink in. If it wants to talk, we should talk. Get it on the line. If you say so, Commander. I'm establishing contact with a 300-year-old weapons platform. Buckle in, everyone. Things are about to get weird. Alright, so your view screen fills with cool blue light as Maya establishes the connection. The light coalesces and solidifies into an unfamiliar landscape. Unknown orbital drone platform. Leviathan Smart senior staff consists of the following: Lionel Leviathan McAuliffe, the commander; Darius Oliveria, executive officer; Dr. Ferrara Maraud, engineer; Yang Vertanen, chief MechTech; Samaya Maya, pilot and navigator. Is this manifest correct, Commander McAuliffe? That's us. To whom or what are we speaking? My official designation is SLDF PTCGVR. I am the last surviving product of Project Triage, authorized 2765. What's that? The 6th, 12th day by Major General Jeremy McLean of the 19th Army, 61st Corps. I have also been programmed to respond to any of the following informal designators: caregiver, den mother, or murder beyond. You may refer to me using any of the above aliases. Murderborn? What's that mean? Swedish translation, Mother Bear. I believe the name was intended to humanize me. It's also evocative of my primary directive, and the gathering of and protection of disaster survivors. In this scenario, my metaphorical cubs. Folks, we've got ourselves a winner. I reserve the right to call it Mama Bear, though. Alright, now that the introductions are out of the way, I'd like to know why your drones fired on my lands. The ongoing defense of New Volucci is one of my tertiary objectives. When you initiated a firefight in the ruins, I was compelled to intercede. I regret any injury my drones may have caused your company, and I am hopeful that the circumstances of our introduction will not prevent us from helping one another in the future. Helping one another? You want us to do something for you. Figures, everybody's got an angle, even an ancient computer. Course it does, that's the universal constant. Tell us what you need, Mama Bear. Who knows? Maybe we can work something out. For the past half-century, I've been guiding a derelict spacecraft, the Dobrev, towards Tarragona. On the eve of its arrival, it disappeared. I believe the organization you were fighting to be responsible for the derelict's disappearance. I must learn where they have taken it. It is imperative that I recover the ship. We're here to rescue Captain Gaku Mogorian. He was taken prisoner by the same people who hijacked the derelict. Then we are pushing complementary objectives, Doctor. I suggest that we pool our resources to achieve them. For the sake of argument... yeah, what's in it for us? My combat drones are standing by and ready to assist you in your rescue efforts. All I ask in return is to access the Bauman's Group computer systems. This arrangement should prove purely beneficial to you and your company. Commander, I ask nothing that you cannot give me for free. That sounds reasonable. What form would this assistance take exactly? Well, if I could have my drones attack the nearby armory, this should serve to lure away the prison's garrison, clearing the way for a light, nimble lance to conduct the rescue operation. Alternative, I could liberate Captain MechWarrior myself, but I would need your lance to serve as the distraction. Should you choose this option, I would recommend allocating your heaviest battle mechs for the job. Well, you know what? Why not? We've got some heavy mechs. Let's go ahead and take on the lance and let the vehicles move on in. I think that's a good way to do it, and we could get some nice salvage here. Interesting choice. Not what I would have gone with, but you're the boss. Alright, your decision is acknowledged, Commander McAuliffe. While your lance distracts the prison garrison, my drones will move in to rescue Captain MechWarrior. You will have him alive and unharmed. Well, that's it. We have a plan. Let's get to it, Commander. Time's a-wasting. Alright, so we have one more mission for us to run with, I think. Or at least there could be some more. I'm not entirely certain. It's going to be in the Badlands, some decent pay, some solid salvage. I think we're probably going to be going in for the salvage on this one. Yeah, but I think that that's going to be for tomorrow's episode, as who knows how long it could take. You never know with these things. There's always a spanner to be thrown in the works. So if you do want to see the end of the Flashpoint, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.